welcome back to Favorite Things. Today, got another unboxing, unpackaging here. And this is kind of a grail piece for me. It's a model that I really wish they were still making today. And it's got the size and pretty much all the tools that I think make for a perfect EDC. And so let's take a look. But before doing so, I'll show you that this one here is my Sportsman 84 millimeter 2-layer. And what I love about the Sportsman is that it gives me something that is very useful. So you got the main blade, you got the standard opening layer with the cap lifter with the 90-degree stop, and also the can opener. And on the back side, you've got the pinhole, and you've got the corkscrew, and I've got it with a small micro Phillips. And then, of course, you've got the awl with sewing eye. And then instead of the small pen blade, boom, you've got the newest version of the nail file with the metal striations, which I find to be a lot more handy than the older style. The older style that you would see, for example, on this Evo 16 from Wenger. So with this kind of gritty surface. I think this one just holds up a lot better, lasts longer, and it's just easier to use, more aggressive, more effective, more efficient. And that's why I chose the Sportsman over the Sportsman 2, which was also available on Amazon at the time. Sportsman 2 being kind of an economy version with nylon scales and the old style gritty nail file instead of the metal striation one. So anyway, that kind of gives away what I'm looking for here. This is an 84 millimeter Alumnus. And so the Alumnus has been something I've been searching for. And so I finally saw it on eBay and put in a bid, and I won it. So I'm happy to have you along to the unboxing here. All right, now the only downside to this one so far, it's got some branding, this EMS. I'm not sure what that is, but anyway, looks like it's in pretty good shape. So let's take a look here. So we've got an 84 millimeter. So this is my 91 millimeter Super Tinker. So we got an 84 millimeter 3-layer. And so we've got the corkscrew, fluted corkscrew, which means that it is pre-1991. Then we've got the awl without sewing eye. So that's pre-1991. And then we've got the cap lifter bottle opener with no 90-degree stop. The 84 millimeter knives only added the 90-degree stop at around 2011. So this is sometime before 2011. And then we've got, by the way, these tools open and close very nicely. They're smooth and clicky and don't feel gunked up. And then let's take a look at the main blade. That feels really good, like it's not been sharpened or used much. So here on the tang stamp, if we look closely here, so here we have the plus sign that touches the crossbow on the reverse, and on the obverse, we have the large V and the 4-line tang stamp. So that means that we are somewhere between 1986 and 1992. And then we've got the infamous and famous and sought after 84 millimeter scissors, which feel great. They don't have it does not have the spring guide groove, which means pre-1991. That makes sense. We have the slotted screw instead of the rivet, which is also pre-1992. This all makes sense as far as the originality, and it's a good feeling scissor, so that's very nice. And then lastly, here's what we got. We've got, boom, we've got the nail file. Yes, it's the older style nail file. So, but yeah, it's very useful, much more useful than a pen blade, in my opinion, for my use. What would make this even better? Well, replace the corkscrew with a Phillips. I'm a Phillips guy. I prefer the Tinker versions just because I don't drink wine. This is a little bit, it just looks a little bit more crude compared to the Phillips, which would essentially make it a Victorinox version of this Wenger Evo 16, which is an 85 millimeter knife, also discontinued. And so you've got your opening layer here. Note the crab claw Wenger version of the can opener. Then you've got your main blade, your scissors, Wenger style scissors, a little bit different. And then you've got your nail file right there. However, notice that the abrasive side of the nail file is facing away from the knife blade, unlike the setup of the Victorinox, which faces the main blade. So I'm a little bit nervous about potentially scratching the main blade with the abrasive nail file, whereas this one is kind of smart. They've tucked it away. They've tucked it toward the scale. And then of course on the back side, you've got the Wenger style awl, non-sharpened, no sewing eye. And then it's got the little cutaway on the scale to make it easier to open. And then on the other side, you've got your Phillips. Of course, no pinhole here. And of course, this Phillips is a little bit narrower than the little slightly more beefy Phillips of the Victorinox. Now, there's also something called a Classic 16 by Wenger, which I suspect is exactly the same frame, just with different scales. I do think the scales are interchangeable. So if somebody knows that for sure, let me know. Please confirm for me. And then the other thing that would make this even better would be replace the old style nail file with the newer style that is on the Sportsman. Incidentally, it is also on the Cadet. So here's an Alox Cadet, and again, you've got that really nice metal striated nail file with the metal cuts. I think these are just really excellent. They work very well. So I do have a custom mod in the works, but it's kind of put on hold until I find a new back spring for the scissors that I want to add to a Sportsman, and I also want to change out the corkscrew on the Sportsman to a Phillips. So hopefully I'll be able to show that off, but in the meantime, this is a very cool knife. Also notice that there is no key ring on this one. So, but yeah, this just feels great in the hand, and I love that stack of tools, and you know, just having the scissor is super handy, and man, and then you got your nail file. So it's great. It's got all the tools that I would want on a daily adventure. So anyway, I'm very happy with this one. I'm glad to have added it to the collection. Only downside is it's not available very readily, and so it's not going to be a daily carry because I really cherish it and I don't want to lose it. All right. Anyway, thanks so much and stay tuned. Have a good one.